everyone, and welcome to SCORE Business Showcase. We're back, and we're here for your enjoyment and entertainment, but particularly for your growth as a business. And today, we have the phenomenal Mark Lazarus. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you so much, sir. Nice to be here.
Good. Glad you were able to make it and join our show. Thank you for being our guest.
No, thank you for inviting me and having me here.
Well, we have a few questions that we wanted to ask you. You know, this is a hot topic when you're talking about social media and things that we can do today in this technological world. It's exciting. It's inviting. The youth are really on board. Mm-hmm. But as a business needs to jump on board too, because they need to get ahead in their business. So I have a question. What made you come up with this idea?
Well, what made me come up with this idea, because my full-time job, I work at Yale University, and I used to get lost in the building. So I said, well, if there was an app that can help you find my way within the building, I can be able to, I don't have that problem. So then I started creating that app, but I said, well, I got to think about my competitors. There's bigger competitors than me, so what can differentiate myself from everyone else? I said, well, I'll do something where it comes from marketing. And I said, okay, now how am I going to make it where it's going to be affordable for people? So I walked around, called different marketing companies, said, how much is it going to be to market a certain company? They'll say, just a couple of $1,000. What's your budget? Maybe like $200, or to maybe sometimes $30,000. I said, that's too much. So I said, well, I want to make it affordable where people can pay like about the most is $100 a month, creating it where they have a tiled version. They can upload their commercials, their pictures onto the app. Then I thought about it more. I said, well, how can I make this even more robust? I said, what do small businesses don't get? Analytics. So I said, okay, I'm going to give them analytics on how many people walk in and out of their business. Then I'm going to say, and I thought about it, I said, how can we make it even better? All right, I'm going to help them do push notifications. So if they have the app, they can send push notifications to people's phones. And I said, okay, so now I'll bunch this all together to be robust so a bigger business that is out there can't crush me. So I said, that's how You Are Here came about. It was just thinking of one idea, and then it kind of snowballed to different ideas, and then putting them all together. And I thought about it, I said, how can I sell this? Because really, most businesses will hear about it when I say the idea, they think it's nuts until I really explain it to them. So when I say, okay, I had to have a real product to show them, that's when I'll be able to sell to them, and they will be able to love it, and they'll see the value in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very good, very good. Now, you mentioned that some people get lost in the building. These must be large corporations you're talking about then.
Large corporations, malls, you say the Big E, any other school, a large high school. Because a lot of times you go into go to anywhere, you see a map that says You Are Here. But and you're like, okay, I'm there, but how do I get there? Now, with my app, what ends up happening is that you'll see yourself as a blue dot, and then you'll see yourself walking around the building.
Oh, really?
Because all I need is just the PDF of that the entity's building, and then I just put my technology around. I calibrate it so it's about 98% accurate, and you'll be able to walk around and map your routes.
So it's like GPS.
It's like GPS for indoors.
Oh, very good, very good. Now, why would a business sign up for your service?
Well, a business want to sign up for my services because they want to lower their marketing budget. Most small businesses don't even have the money to have a large marketing budget, right? So if they're able to pay $100 or $80 a month to put their own commercials in there, they can film their own and post it in there, and get notification, get data on how many people come right into the business. That's a really large value. So, and they'll be able to contact more people. And for example, is that I made a deal with the city of West Haven and the West Haven Chamber of Commerce. So what I'm trying to do as a business, as basically a B2B business, is basically become part of the infrastructure of a city or a town. So then when a person from out of town or someone within town comes in, they're able to use the You Are Here app, and then business will be able to the small business have a way to compete with a Walmart, a Target, and everything else.
Oh.
Your local mom and pop hardware store, do they have the same marketing budget as Walmart? No. But if you provide them a very easy way to market themselves, it helps them out to actually engage their audience. And then we're trying to be a value option to everyone.
It sounds like you are. Now, do you have any customers at present?
Yes, so City of West Haven is my customer right now. What we call the West Haven umbrella. Mm-hmm. So the mayor really wanted to help out his small businesses. He said, I want to grow West Haven. I want to make sure that they are the shining beacon on the hill and be the envy of all the other municipalities around the surrounding area. So we did this deal, and I did a open house with the Chamber of Commerce, West Haven Chamber of Commerce, which I'd like to thank them for hosting me on the 25th. And we just signed up the Harborview School of Phlebotomy, and we're going to be trying to sign up even more businesses there.
Well, congratulations. Now, what do you mean by the term "be your own billboard"?
Be Your Own Billboard is our new device. So we have our iOS app on the App Store right now, and we're currently building our Droid version. But because we know we have a lot of Droid users, and like say West Haven, they have a lot of Droid users, I wanted to give them another value option they can use. So it's a device you can use, and we sync your website, your Facebook page, your Instagram page onto the device. It's a click of a button, and you can walk around, and if you have a Droid device, it will come up on your Droid phone as a notification if you have your Bluetooth on. So think about it as a small business. They want to market to a whole bunch of people. They can go to a mall and market to thousands. Go to a festival, market to hundreds of people. Walking down the street, market to so many people. So it gives them another way. They're a mobile marketing unit. We have a device now you can just stick to your car, and you're driving around marketing. So instead of having a giant billboard or paying for a giant billboard that costs maybe $100,000, maybe $30,000, you're paying someone like me $50 a month.
It sounds like something out of my Minority Report.
Yes.
Now, can you give us some background about yourself?
Well, basically I'm a Bridgeport resident, and I'm a registered Bridgeport business. Went to school in Norwalk Community College, graduated twice with a degree in Information Technology, Computer Networking, and Information Security. And I went to UConn and graduated with a BGS degree with a minor in Sociology, Women's Studies.
Okay. Now, you mentioned West Haven. What made you decide, even though you're from Bridgeport, what made you decide to go to West Haven with this app?
Yes, that's a great story to talk about. I actually went to Bridgeport before, and they didn't really see the vision. So I was just contacting anyone that would want to go about this. And actually, the head of economic development, Mr. Riccio, loved the idea, and he says, you know what, let's bring this up to the mayor. So I had to thank Joe Riccio for that, for being the champion for my application to get into West Haven. And then at that point, we did the presentation from the mayor and his council. And then he says, I think this is a great idea, but we need to bring the Chamber of Commerce involved. And then I did a presentation from the Chamber of Commerce. They loved the idea as well. They basically said, yes, this is going to be a value option to them. Because it helps the West Haven Chamber of Commerce, too, as well, get members. Because a lot of times with the Chamber of Commerce, when you sign up, you just get a sticker and you get, some publication. But what is there to really market yourself? What's the real value that really gets out there? Some people are not going to want to have a sticker. They want to say, okay, I'm getting this plus way to access a marketing tool at a cut rate. Because we made a deal with them. I mean, they did a really nice deal to give them a nice price to make sure that it can help them out because they're small businesses.
Well, you came at the right day today, because later on in the show we're having the president of BRBC coming in.
Okay.
You might want to know about this. So I'll tell him about that.
Well, thank you.
Mickey Hubert. But who are your competitors in this market?
Well, in this market, there's some that just aggregate data, like for restaurants, and they basically take that from Yelp or Google, but to probably basically put their website maybe in a higher level in like an SEO search. So if you do a Google search, you can see the restaurant, but there's nothing really giving them a way to market themselves and give them that data. There's nothing where they have a business owner can have a device and have one of their employees walk around and market their device when they're walking down the street or going to a mall. And I don't think that there's no other company that helps them provide analytics on how people walk in and out of their building. You can get clicks and click on a website, but I can get my 3-year-old to go click on a website and then say, oh, we got about 100 clicks. Yeah, because she's 3 years old, she can click on something. But you're not getting that hard evidence and saying, okay, I have this device, I've reached these amount of people, and these amount of people walked inside my business. And we can actually get it to where you can have, say if you're selling clothes, we can put our technology right under your table, and you'll know how many people came to that clothing aisle.
Really?
So you know, like, oh, we put all this energy and money on this sweater, but we found out that the other sweater was selling more, and they're way in the back. So that's the kind of thing that sets us apart. You know, there's other companies that try to market businesses, but there's nothing that's coming out in the way of we're doing it and keeping it at an affordable price.
Well, that sounds exciting. Now, what is your strategy in moving You Are Here forward?
My strategy is to basically have a model of partnerships between public, private, and a lot of times I want to do is academia. Only way to really help out a real community is a real partnership with everyone. You know, everyone says, every politician, every person that's out there saying small businesses are the backbone of our economy. But what are we doing to alleviate the pressure off the backbone? Nothing.
Right.
And really, we're trying to show it as we just started at West Haven that we're going to alleviate that pressure, and we're going to help them be better.
Matter of fact, a lot of businesses are leaving Connecticut.
Yes, they are. A lot of businesses are leaving Connecticut, one because of taxes, and you know, it's a hard market to compete. So the thing that I want to do is that as a business and working with, like, from my experience of working at Yale and everything else, I understand that the only way to build anything is basically all hands have to be on deck, and we're all working together.
Yes.
So I hope as we grow, we'll be able to bring in University of New Haven and get them involved as well, because then that's a beneficial to the schools as well, because as businesses grow, they'll be able to hire more people. As they're able to hire more people, that means jobs. And as the jobs comes up, crime goes down because people have a place to work.
Yes.
The crime's going to go down, and people are going to be safe, and more people will want to invest.
So it sounds like your service is an economic engine, right,
Yes.
for the community. Now, can you give a demonstration of your product?
Oh yeah, I have my phone here. So we have a couple of them. So I have my Be Your Own Billboard. It's in my pocket. So this is what it is. I'll just take it out the bag. So something like this is Be Your Own Billboard. So we sync your website, and then at that point, it's just a click on for green, red for off.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So on green, if you have a Droid device or an iPhone, you just got to download the physical web app. Or if you have a if you have your Droid phone, your Bluetooth has to be on.
Okay.
So if you look here, and it'll be coming up pretty soon, and you see the Twitter page of Ed O'Brien, the mayor of West Haven.
Yes.
So this helps the mayor or any politician or any business basically talk to when you're shaking someone's hand, you want to give them your business card.
Right.
Now you're shaking someone's hand, you give them their Twitter page, you give them their web page, you give them everything else. So they have a long-lasting one, because a lot of times you get someone a business card, what ends up happening?
So is that automatic?
It's automatic.
All right. Really?
Yeah, it just keeps on. I won't say push out information, push out your website to you, and you can turn it off so you don't have to be.
Okay. Yes. Now, is that a problem with spam? The spam situations?
I don't think really it'd be a problem spam situation, because we have it turned on and off, and we have it in intervals. We don't want to do is annoy people.
Okay.
So we have it in intervals. We'll send like every minute, every couple seconds. Now, if we can send it to program it to be every second, every millisecond on it. That'll annoy someone to the point that they lose their mind. I don't want someone taking their phone and throwing it across the street.
Exactly.
And then, as you see, the Twitter page comes right up.
Yes.
And then for our app here, this is iOS. And put into our location. I'll just put New Haven here.
Social media is an exciting area, and I know it seems like for the older individuals today, the older generation, they have a hard time with this. Is this ease of use?
It is easy of use. So for them, if they want to look at something, the business is just like a towel. And then as they go, they can scroll down to different categories. So we make it easier. So when you go to a hotel, you have all these pamphlets.
Yes.
He's going to look at it. Not many people. So you spend all that money for nothing. So people just want it simple. So at that point, they can just go into a certain category, click on the category, see the business. So they want to look for aquariums, aquariums right there. If they want to look for a different school, school's right there. If looking for an automotive for to go buy a car, the car's right there. And they'll be able to see it. And then they also can find their way within the building.
Excellent.
So if I can see if we can get this up indoor.
So we can throw out the yellow pages.
We can throw out the yellow pages. We can throw out a billboard. We are kind of a clean and green. And if you want to, here's your map and your blue dot. If you wanted to walk around right now, you can see yourself moving.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you're basically just walking around instead of seeing a map of where it's like, all right, here it is. All right, I'm finding the treasure. Now you're saying, okay, this is where I'm going, and I'm seeing myself going to that certain destination.
Right. All right. Very good. Very good. Now, are you the only member on your team, or are there other team members?
I'm basically the founder and CEO. I have Jeff Stein, who did a medical advice, had a medical advice business called Synetech in Milford. He's one of my in my board of directors. Pamela Zeller, who was a professor, a law professor at Quinnipiac, is one of my advisors as well.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, any advice for other entrepreneurs out there as far as starting a business or making things happen in that area?
I will say to them, you have to really put your own money up. Really, banks today don't really want to give you money. So, like, I got a loan from Action, and then you may have a high interest rate, so you got paid that off. But if you were looking for venture capitalist money, they're gonna want to say how much money you put in this, and I put up a certain amount of money up, and they'll say, okay, this person's invested in the business.
Have skin in the game.
Have skin in the game. One of the other things is that even though your idea may seem crazy, and people will talk you out of it, sometimes you got to go follow it, and just believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing. And also just have the right people around you. When I first started my business, I started thinking that I had like a right team around me, but I found out that they weren't the ones that wanted to help me grow. So I had to get them out of there, and then find the people that are like-minded that want to see you grow. Because a lot of times, some people want to pigeonhole you into a certain area. They don't think that you can move to a certain degree, and then you have to find the right people that say, "Oh no, you can," and here's the steps to move forward.
All right, very good. Now, you're in West Haven, and you got that thing rocking and rolling. So it sounds exciting. Now, do you think you can replicate, the sales in other towns or cities?
Oh yeah, I think I can, because as I see it and I look at it, and more of the factors that every mayor, every chamber of commerce wants to see their city grow, right? There's more to taking care of a city than taking out the trash.
Right.
So your business community is what the lifeblood of your tax base is, or you want to overtax your populace. So as you're able to grow and grow businesses and make it more in a technological fashion, other businesses will invest in your area. And it will lower down crime. And when you have more businesses around, and you're growing your small businesses, that are basically, they're always saying that their backbone is.
Right.
It behooves them to go there and want to try to do this kind of partnership, and basically bringing municipality, academic area, and the Chamber of Commerce really together. Then that really just makes the ball rolling. Really.
Yes, indeed. Now, we were talking before the show got started, and we were talking about the internet and advertising. What can help a company to actually go viral, and what does that mean, actually?
So, like, if you're going viral, people know, like, say if you see a funny video, you see the views are over like 1 million views or 500,000 views. A lot of people think that going viral, I post a video on YouTube or Instagram and I get like 100 views. That's not viral at all, because it has to be shared for a different link. So if you have it, like, say, on YouTube, YouTube's not always going to get you viral. It's going to be shared on Facebook. It's going to be shared on Vimeo. It's going to be shared on so many different areas, and everyone thinks they take a value of it that it's going to go to that point. And you get to a certain amount of views, like 1 million views, then you're at the viral point.
Aha! All right, that sounds good. Maybe we can get our show to go viral.
Oh, I think you can.
So, anyways, you have a few things working for you. Do you have any other products in the making?
Yeah, I have a product I'm making called Where Am I? So Where Am I is going to be, as we prove our concept, is that I've noticed that children with autism, people with dementia, are getting lost, and then you can't find your family member. So what I'm starting to create is a wearable device that you can sync to your cell phone. So your cell phones can sync it, and so then if someone gets lost, you can look on the web, and you'll be able to see where your family member is going. Also, creating like a SOS button, so if they're in trouble, like life alert kind of thing, you press a button and it calls your phone. And it's like, well, I'm in trouble, where am I? Or you can call that device and find out where they are. A lot of times people don't know that for autism, kids start to bolt, and then they just run, and a lot of these kids end up perishing sometimes. So now, if you give them a wearable, a more fashionable device, maybe a gold and black device or something else with nice, cool colors, that can help the kid not get lost. And if you make it small enough, you can probably put it, under the shoe or anything else, so you know where your kid is. Or a family member that's sick and it has dementia that just, sometimes gets on a bus, and then they may end up in New Orleans, but at least you know where they are, and you can go find them. And that's where we're going. It's not like being Big Brother. It's basically making sure that you can find your family member if they get lost or anything else, especially a young child or anything else.
Correct.
The child may walk out of school and then never to be seen again. So say if they're wearing that device, now you know where they are.
Okay.
Or at least you can pinpoint where they actually can. The police can start going after their stuff.
Exactly.
Putting signs all over the place.
So that sounds like it would be good for school children, right? Especially for parents nowadays, to alleviate their worry and concerns.
Yeah, you're alleviating the anxiety of it, especially because of social media and kids talk to everyone, and parents can't monitor what they're doing all the time. But at least if they're wearing like a chain that looks really nice and they walk out somewhere, then you know where they are. Or what we have too, part of You Are Here, is that we can actually give like ID cards. So when the person walks out of the building, the principal or the security guard gets a text message saying this person left. So you know where they're gone. So if you have that happen, now you're blocking that out. And then once we have technology maybe about 100 feet away, now you know where they are. You can go grab them, and you say, well, I don't have to grab them, but you can basically save them from being abducted.
Correct.
Saying, from a sexual predator, or you say if the person is, has dementia, they're not being taken advantage of by some unscrupulous person.
And unfortunately, a lot of that is happening today.
Yes.
Too. I just want to talk about this book briefly.
Yeah.
And I think this might be good for our audiences. It says, built in essential social marketing practices every small business should be aware about. And this might be a starting point as far as your company is concerned, as far as getting on social media, and then also getting in contact with you. Matter of fact, what is your contact information?
Well, they can always they can send me an email at info@youarehere.us, or you can email me directly at mark.lazarus@youarehere.us. And I'm always checking my email, and I will always get back to you within a couple hours.
All right, fantastic. So now, did I ask you, by the way, how long your company has been in business?
We've been in business around 18 months.
Okay, all right, excellent.
So it's been a lot of times when you have a project, they always say if it's over 2 years, it's a failure. So I knew that I had to basically be a good project manager. You learn as you go. Sometimes when I was building projects, things were failing, and I'm like, okay, we got to learn from it. And push forward from that point.
Now, could you say the beginning part again? Because I didn't hear you. You said something about 2 years being a failure. What did you say?
A lot of times, if you read most books and everything else, they say if a project runs longer than 2 years, they say the project's a failure because sometimes you may have too many committees, or you're just wasting time, or you're not really trying to be serious about it. If it's developing a product, it's something else. Like you're developing a technology or everything else, it may take years. But if you're starting a business and you just have the idea and you're just sitting around on it, then it becomes an idea. That's just a fantasy.
Right.
You really have to go out there and put in the work, and really go out there to go to places like SCORE, and and really get the help that you need and people to counsel you where you need to be, how to move yourself forward.
Yes, indeed. Well, it sounds like you've given a lot of great information, and we appreciate that. We need to have you back on the show, right? To see how things are coming along over the next few months. There is quite a things going on in Bridgeport that I can see that actually could use your services.
Okay.
They got the project that's Steel Point that's coming up. There's going to be adding services to that area.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Do you think that would work for you?
That would work for me. I'm here as a Bridgeport resident. I want to see Bridgeport do well, right? Bridgeport was known a long time ago as Little New York, and the factories for World War II, and they were building the armaments. You know, and now, you know, a son and I wrote when they did an interview for me for the Hartford, and I said I don't want Bridgeport to be the butt of the joke in a Family Guy show, which it was.
Yes.
So I said, I want Bridgeport to grow because I want my property values to go up. I want people not to say, "Oh, you live in Bridgeport," you know, because sometimes when you go to different towns, like, "Where do you live?" Bridgeport, and they're like, "Oh."
Right.
So I want them to say, "I live in Bridgeport." Excellent, that's a great place. It is a great place.
It is,
but it just has a bad. It has a bad name from different things that's happened. But it's always there's always a chance to turn the page. And from the mistakes, we do. That's why pencils have erasers. We can erase those mistakes and then rewrite a new chapter.
Well, you know, that's a great idea. You know, and hopefully this show will have a hand in that, and in a small portion, as far as putting a good face on Bridgeport, where businesses are thriving here in the state of Connecticut. As a matter of fact, what comes to mind is, you know, you're building here in the local area. Do you see yourself going out of the state of Connecticut?
As we grow, and I want to really do is grow within Connecticut and really have basically you're here on every county. And then as we grow and improve it, we want to grow out to other states and cities. But I'm a Connecticut resident. I want to see Connecticut do well.
Right.
I want them to have like those weird, you know, having things about deficits and stuff like that. I want to say we're having surpluses, and we are the envy of all the other 49 states.
Fantastic. Yeah, because before you can go across the state lines, you have to go across the street.
Exactly.
So and you could be followed on your right here at. Excellent. Well, you know, the SCORE Business Showcase, we really appreciate, you know, you taking the time to join us today, and also for you viewers out there in SCORE land. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to actually take a look at us, and to your success. And we'd like you, if you have any questions or concerns, just give us a call here at SCORE, and you'll see the credits at the end. So thanks again, Mark. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
All right.